Hello YouTube, it's HuntGuy532, and today I was watching some more prepping videos on YouTube and people's food storage and whatnot. And prior to that, I was stacking firewood in my house and stuff. And I had a couple pieces of wood that were too big for the stove, and well, I pulled out the old splitting axe and split them up to be smaller, right? And then I kept thinking, it was kind of cold out, and nobody's here, right? It's just me. It's dark as fuck. I went to go empty the ash box, so I had my glove. I went out. I lit a smoke. I emptied the ash box. I was gonna have my smoke before I started loading some firewood, and then I looked in the and I stuck my smoke in my face, and I moved the big heavy door that I still need to get big industrial hinges for because that thing's like 210 pounds, and moving the door, and it almost felt like I was like hiding my firewood, if that makes any sense. And then I went out. Then I noticed the bigger pieces in there that I had to split up. So I went to the garage and grabbed the splitting axe and the sledgehammer, and I even grabbed my hatchet because I wanted to grab that back. And when I was going through my garage and stuff, everything was dark and it's like eerily, sorry, quiet outside. And it was just kind of weird. It just had me, I don't know, kind of thinking. I was, uh, I was thinking about prepping and SHTF stuff like that, and then I kept thinking, what was North America founded on? Now, not to go with the founded on like the old America was founded on tobacco, which it was, but not going on that. You got to take a look. When people came here, there was nothing for them, minus the resources and stuff. When European settlers came here on a boat, you unloaded, right? Okay, you got a pinch of cash here to save up in Europe. I've got like 5 kids and a wife. Cool. I've got a wagon, a couple horses, maybe an ox. All right, I got that loaded with some supplies, and time to go make our homestead. And to help maybe the financial part of it, you got with a couple other families, right? So there's like 7, 8 people in a family. We're gonna start with a small family at first. 7, 8 people in a family times like 2 or 3 other families, and you guys are almost gonna like go and create your own mini colony. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of manpower, but that's also a lot of people to feed. And then I kept thinking, what did they have? You know, thinking back to old school stuff. They came over here. They didn't have any of the fancy technology we have today. My steel chainsaws, which I love so much, they didn't have those. They had old fucking crosscut saws and axes, and they were building their homes out of logs. Or if they did have boards, there was 2 guys on a old crosscut saw ripping boards. I mean, I work a mill and sometimes too, along with the logging and the firewood and the stumps and the brush and everything else I do with my job. And I keep thinking how hard that is, doing it now with gasoline and electrical powered equipment, and thinking back then how they had to do it all by hand. And then it also got me thinking back to the prepping. A lot of guys and gals I see on YouTube have their bug out bags, great. They had the food storage, great, and a lot of them put a lot of work into it, and it looks really great. And if something did happen, they do have a really good chance if they don't get like, I won't get into scenarios or anything, but they have a really good chance. But then you look at, what do you have for tools? And a lot of people they don't know. They don't. Most suburbanites don't carry tools because most of them don't really use them. Oh, this room needs to be redone. Right? I gotta re-drywall and repaint. oh, fuck it. Call a carpenter. Call a guy. Alright? Carpenter comes in, cuts it, drywalls it, right? Muds it, tapes it, paints it. Alright, now we're gonna say this is like a guy doing some under the table work, or a guy that does it all. Cool. Then he paints it. Then he does the trim. Then he paints the trim. Then he hangs the door. Then he, you know, he's a skilled guy, right? And people are like, well, fuck it, call a guy, right? Most people don't even know if they have their own tools in their car, because, you buy a brand new off the lot car. Huh, did it come with tools? I don't know. How do you fix something, right? I know my old man's truck, he's got quite a few tools in that thing. Anything really happened, he's pretty much ready for any on the side of the road repair you can ever do, and then some. Just because we're always working on equipment. You know, you go up to the land, you're working on something, or you're building something, or you're making boards or chopping firewood or something, and something breaks or something. We'll say because I got this piece of shit wood chipper that's always breaking right now, and we gotta get rid of it. But sorry, my nose is itchy. So I, I look at something broken, and I go, well, fuck, and I gotta fix this. I'm not standing there with my hands in my pocket going, now what? I'm getting to the tool bag, I'm getting tools, I'm finding what I need, and then you're fixing shit. And this kind of goes to another one of my theories is the world. I've heard the world belongs to those who prepare for it, but I also believe that the world belongs to all the blue collar workers out there. And and say you do decide to join a community, all these guys know how to work tools, right? They all have some kind of a skill. I got buddies, we all have skills that we know how to do, dying off trades of anything. And we know how to do this stuff. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I've been learning. I'm no master at pretty much anything, but I can do a lot of mechanical repairs now. Carpentry wise, I'm okay. I can do mainly like an old school farmer's carpentry. Like I can build shit and I can make shit solid. But if I hadn't like if I was to have a building inspector come by or something, they'd tell me that's not up to code. This isn't code. So I don't do well with code. I can build something. I can build it pretty damn fucking strong. So I'm good with old school farmers carpentry, but when it comes to a lot more modern day stuff, I'm not too great with it. I don't really see the point of a lot of dog shit. I can drywall and do trim and easy shit like that. But that kind of makes me think of the pioneers again. They came over here. What did they do? They weren't frickin' building you finding old rotten logs and some dead brush and making debris shelters and living in those. No, they got out their tools. Most families had boys in them. The boys and the men were out working the woods and making the boards and building the homes, and the women were taking care of all the other stuff that you know men don't. When you got a guy working that doesn't really stop, that really doesn't want to stop for it. Oh shit! Time to eat lunch. You don't want to stop and cook lunch. You want to hear. And this is just back in the day. Women can do all this shit too. It was your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter or whoever be like, oh, lunch will be in 20 minutes. Cool. I'll go get another bunch of wood done up, right? You go, you clean up your hands real fast, eat lunch. What did they have? They had tools. Some of the tools were axes, saws, these old school fucking guns. And don't be afraid, out there, any preppers that are watching this video, these old guns, these old flintlocks or old school muzzleloaders, I don't really care for the inline ones myself. I know a lot of guys do. They are kind of fun to shoot, just like any gun. But these old school ones, you can, if you know what you're doing, you can make your own gunpowder. With the flintlocks, if you know what you're doing, you can find your own flint, and then you can make your own bullets if you know what you're doing. Now that's gonna take some research and some work, and but yeah, but don't be afraid to prep these because if it really does come to the point of the world will never come back to the way it was. You don't really want that 12-pound AR-15 with all the Gucci shit on it that doesn't work compared to the guy with this old thing walking around. It still works. After a while, people are gonna fuck off and maybe even become nice again. And you're gonna want something to put food on your table. And not saying your AR-15 isn't great. And if it came to like a CQB or any kind of real fight, I don't really think I want to have this up against an AR. But hey, it's a good hunting tool. It very minimal protection. I mean, it's good, more or less protecting yourself from critters. So stockpile tools and learn to use them. Learn trades. If you gotta say a buddy, right? Say you guys work in an office somewhere. Oh fuck, I gotta wrap this up soon. We got under a minute left here, right? And he says, "Fuck, man, I gotta." And you guys are talking. It's Thursday or Friday or whatever. And you guys are talking. He's like, "Fuck, man, I got so much to do this weekend. I gotta redo my roof. I gotta rip the shingles, new plywood, everything." And it's hard to get a hand. And I'm hoping I can get it all done by myself. Just be like, "Hey, man, would you like some help with that?" I'm not doing now. This is obviously if you don't have anything to do. If you had your own stuff to do, then obviously get that done. And if he's like, really, just yeah, man, just pizza and beer, and I'm gonna smoke as I go or whatever kind of thing, and you get her all done that way, right? You learn a new trade. He'll probably show you how to do it. Then you'll learn. You got a buddy who's got an old pickup truck or something he's working on. Go help him work on it. You can pick up trades like that. You don't have to go to school to learn this stuff. Anyway, I might do this in a part two because I'm pretty much out of time. So this Hunt Guy 532. And remember, the future belongs to blue-collar workers and those who prepare for it.